Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm kind of starting a string of college related videos. I hope to do a couple. I'm moving into my apartment next week on Friday, so it's exactly 1 week from today, which is actually insane. So today I want to talk about organization. I just wanted to give a couple tips on how I personally stay organized in college. So let's get right into it. Okay, first I just kind of wanted to talk about the certain tools that I use to stay organized. So the way that I do it is I take a lot of notes on my computer. I know some people are more for like handwritten notes, so I have a couple suggestions for those also. But typically I'll use one notebook for all of my classes because in college you're not really like, you're not gonna have time to stop back at your dorm between every class, and I hated having a super cluttered backpack with like 6 notebooks in it. So I got these 2 notebooks that I'm gonna suggest. They help me to keep all of my materials in one place, so I never had to worry about which notebooks I was grabbing for class that day, because I just grabbed the one and everything's there that I would need. So the first thing I have, this is a Staples Arc. I keep all of my notes in here. You can also kind of customize this, so you can buy these tabs that go into it, and you can also get things like a pocket folder, or they sell little like sticky note things. Shout out Hope if you're watching this. They also sell these little sticky note things that stick into the sides of it, and the way that it works is these little grid things allow the papers to just pop right off. So I just kind of separated this by each class that I had. And then this is all literally empty space because I barely took notes last semester, apparently. Also, the second recommendation I have is this book. What is it called? It's an MR6, but this is color coded, which is super cool. So like all of my notes for Chem of Life were in this one section. All my notes for, what even is this? Psychology were in this section. And then this is sociology. So I just kind of separated it that way, and this one notebook was enough to get me through an entire year. So you don't really have to go super ham on your notebooks. Like, I kind of just kept it simplistic, but these are 2 really, really good options if you're looking for a good organizational notebook and you don't want the clutter of having like one subject notebooks for each class. Okay, one of the other things I would do to stay organized is this is a huge folder, it has so much stuff in it, but I had just one folder where I would put pretty much all of my like current handouts and assignment sheets that I would have. So like this is like a study guide from when I was in physio. So if this was something I was currently using and it was on the test that was coming up, I would just keep everything in one folder, again, just so that I could grab it and know where everything was. And then anytime I was done with the notes for that current test, I just have one of these. They're like a accordion style organizational folder, and I have labels for each class that I had, so I would just slip them in there. So if I would need any of the handouts or notes that I had for the final, they were all in one place again, and I didn't always carry this with me. I would just kind of take them home and transfer them out as it was necessary. If I could give you one holy grail tip of all, like the mother of all study tips and college tips, it would be to get a planner. I know that this isn't a habit that some people just naturally developed. Like, I am a planner junkie. I love writing in my planner and like crossing things off. People tell me I'm like a grandma, but it's fine. I love it. So this is my planner. This is my lifeline during college, and I don't think I'd be able to get through it without one of these guys. So the way that mine is set up is I have a monthly view and a weekly view. So I use the monthly view more often just because it displayed everything I needed to know for that entire month in one place. Because again, I just don't like the complication of having to like flip through different things. I like it to all just be right in front of me, like plain Jane. That's just the way that I learn better and the way that I work better. I bought this at Walmart. So like you don't have to get a super crazy expensive planner for it to be effective. And with my planners, I tend to color code things a lot. So I would write any like tests or whatever that I had in red ink, and then I would highlight things in yellow once I had completed them, because it just helped me to stay on top of things. And like if I would decide to work ahead and I'd get an assignment done like 2 weeks in advance, I would just highlight it so that I know like 2 weeks later that I'd already done it, and it's not something that I have to worry about and have on my agenda. I also would recommend on having like a syllabus day once you start. once you get your syllabi from all of your teachers, just write down all your due dates. Like, you will thank yourself later. It's time consuming, but it kind of helps you to get a grip on what your semester is going to be like. I would go through, write out when your breaks are going to be, write out when your major exams are going to be, and that will help you a lot to stay organized in the future. Moving on to some of my study tips. So this is going to be pretty brief because honestly, I feel like I could make an entire video of this, and everyone studies differently. Like, my way of studying could be completely different from someone else's. But the way that I found most effective is Quizlet. Quizlet is your best friend when you're in college. I use it religiously. Like, I am the Quizlet queen, and I love it. So what I would usually do to study, pardon how dirty this is, but this is my whiteboard. I carry it around everywhere with me in my backpack just so that I have it because it is a great study tool. It's fun to use because who doesn't like writing on a whiteboard and using colorful dry erase markers? But it's also very effective for me, at least. So I would typically make a Quizlet set out of like my notes. I would just go through my Quizlet and I would write down the answer on here. So say the question was like, which organelle is the powerhouse of the cell? And you're like, oh, it's the mitochondria, and you write it down. And then you know it because you're kind of doing like that muscle memory thing, but you're also like physically putting what you're thinking onto something in the world that helps you to visualize it, to write it down, to remember it, and that's something that really helped me a lot as I was studying. My second biggest study tip would be highlighters. They make studying way easier. So if you look at my notes, they're kind of insanity, but I would write my notes during class and then I would go back afterward to read over my notes a second time, and then I would highlight. So I'd have a certain color for like the heading of each part, and then I would highlight like key points that I thought I needed to remember, and it just kind of helps you to actively read through your notes so you're not just sitting there and it's like in one ear out the other. So that's another big tip that I would recommend. I think that that's something that really helped me a lot as I'm going through my class. All right, so I think that that's pretty much all for this video. Those are kind of my main pieces of advice for staying organized and kind of just starting to get a feel for kind of what your study groove is. And you'll find different tools that work best for you and others that might not. I am really excited to kind of start these college videos. I hope to do more. I'm gonna do a vlog when I move into my apartment next week, so I think that'll be really exciting. I really like doing stuff like this and kind of helping people to get acclimated into college because it's a really important time in your life. I just kind of want to do anything that I can to help other people make the transition easier. So yeah, that's about it for today. Peace out, and I will see you later.